All right, everybody. This is CBSI Tales from the Flipside 109. I'm Deno. We got good guests today, so I'm happy that he's always fortunate to be around and always happy to have him here. Boys, let's go clockwise and let's introduce ourselves.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Pete Ups here. Made it another week, so happy to be here.
Iron Man streak going.
Yeah.
Z here. Happy to be here. I think I missed last week, so sorry, but I'm back.
There was a no parents episode.
Whoa. Yeah, no parents.
Hold on. Did whatever the time change happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
McClay was caught without doing his wonderful lock, so welcome him.
Sorry. Okay.
McClay messed up the time change.
Well, that happens.
Only state not changing now.
Because I don't deal with that time change crap.
I feel your pain. We were the other holdout, and now we do it.
I hate it.
Can you believe that that's one thing America, if they're all the shit America doesn't agree on, we agree on time change?
Ridiculous.
Maybe that's what we need to get elected on.
I know, maybe. I'm going to run that.
Hold on. What do we agree on? Because I think most people hate it.
Well, we all hate it, but we socially accept it and do it.
As it is right now, leave it.
Shall we let Peter introduce himself for love of God, guys? He's going to finish his
No, we
beer.
got to go clockwise. Bryan hopped in. He's right there.
I already introduced myself by being the fuck up. So,
All right, well, I'm Peter Renna, and I'm right down here down the middle.
What articles do you write?
Dollar Bin Digging, Wizard Rewind, and the Usual Suspects, which used to be weekly, then became bi-weekly. Now it's kind of whenever I can get around to it.
And, hey, did you release the foreign one yet? Because I put that in the chat.
Yeah. Did you not read it?
No, I didn't. I know you're working on it.
Yeah, the foreign one finally got done.
Perfect.
Finally got done.
Hey Peter, I totally get you because I think I've got running articles that are like 4 years old now, so I get it.
House hunting coming out. That's what I love. House hunting videos.
Yeah, I get it. But hey, and I decided to join the show here for the first time in like forever, but I just want to make sure that everybody knew I was corona free. So
Sorry, I still list that I'm a writer on CBSI in my bio, but I'm pretty sure it's been 4.5 years.
what did you ever write?
I wrote 3 or 4 things on just different books I liked, different things.
Back when the website was still in like infancy.
Yeah, they just needed content, and I was able to write 3 or 4 things.
Oh God, it's like that kid who joins a group project but doesn't do anything.
You needed a heavy editor, and once Coy kind of stepped back, nobody wanted to touch it. They're like, what language are you writing?
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm
Whatever
gonna
happened to that?
That's why Peter does all the GIFs. He doesn't have to write that.
Yeah, don't have to write.
Distract from their grammar.
Put in pictures. Fill in space.
Okay.
Did Ben introduce himself? We got sidetracked.
Who?
yeah,
What?
he did.
He introduced.
Man, Paul, man,
sorry.
you just weren't even listening.
What?
Yeah.
I said you weren't even listening.
So let's do pickups and we're gonna go. Here we go. We're gonna fuck it up even worse. We're gonna do counterclockwise, starting Bryan, and Z's gonna go last. So
Oh
Bryan,
God, my pickups. I don't
Fuck up
think
part
I have
2.
any- I don't think I have any pickups this week.
Oh wow, comes in late with no pickup.
With no pickups. I'll have to check. So I'll give that to Peter. Go for it, brother.
All right. I got a few things I put aside. These are like from the last 2 weeks for me because I don't get to do this every week. So one of the ones I got is this Daredevil
The Aja.
variant. I wrote about it in Wizard Rewind, and I really liked it and said, I'm just going to buy one for myself because
When's that from?
it's like 2011, 2012, back in that like tough time, I believe.
Nice shirt, by the way. I just saw what it was.
Oh, yeah. I wore this for you, fellow Supernatural fan.
Nice.
For a nominal fee, you can be on the show every week if you wanted.
And then the next 2 I grabbed at a show that I went to not last weekend, I think, but the weekend before. I grabbed this Hughes retailer incentive. It's like the second or third one of these I've had, but I don't have any more, so this one's to replace what I've sold. And then I finally got a good deal on this Batman 608 second print.
Nice. Has that book done anything? I mean, like it was like super high there for a minute, and then
It's still up there.
Is it?
It's still like over 100. It's like 150 a lot of times for that book. But I'm a big Jim Lee fan, so I just kind of wanted that for myself.
Is that a 9.8?
No. It's maybe VF. There's at least one color break tick down here on the side. But I think the guy I talked him down to was only like, I think I paid 60, 65, I think. Somewhere in there. So it was worth it to me. What else did I grab? Some stuff that I grabbed from the dollar bins. I found a huge lot of Knights of the Old Republic. And here's just the first one. It actually wasn't even $1. It was like less than $1. It was just like one of those storage locker closeout. Guy brought out to the flea market a ton of Star Wars stuff. So I just picked it clean with what I could find. Almost done. I got a Megaton one that I found on the flea market as well. Actually, I found 2 of these.
What's significant of that one, Brian?
I've seen it.
Yeah, well, that's Eric Larson's professional work.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. So I was hoping to find 3, but he had 2 copies of number 1, so I snapped them both up. And the same guy had a whole bunch. I grabbed 3. He had a whole bunch of these G.I. Joe packs. I think it's the second packs. Still sealed. He had a whole, like, again, there's like a stack of them, but I just grabbed 3 because it's got G.I. Joe 2, 26, and 27, all Snake Eyes, like Origin-related stuff. So I thought that was a interesting pickup. And lastly, to go with my foreign article I just finished, my new buddy, Matt Roybal, hooked me up and set me up with one of my first foreign books. Just beautiful copy of the Italian ISM 300 cover here.
How that one escaped me? I buy them all. No.
You know, it's funny. I think that might be a 9.8.
It's really nice. It really is nice.
I've talked to Matt about it. You got lucky. That's a beautiful copy.
It is a beautiful copy. There's like this little corner he showed me, but I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be ballsy enough to try to like gently press the corner.
Talk to Leg. I don't know if it will do it. I think
it's
Matt,
not like bad. It's nothing color breaking. It's just like a little bit of a.
That cardstock's touchy. He tried one of mine. It doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, it's just gorgeous as it is. So I'm probably not going to mess with it. I mean, it's just for me. I might get to see what happens.
You might get a 9092. That's still going to put it in real rare.
Yeah, and he gave me a real sweetheart of a deal. So whatever comes back, I'll be happy.
Absolutely. And you got one that I didn't buy, so call that a win too.
Yeah, I got one. But that's all I got for this week.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. I got a couple Raws that I bought, and I'm just going to show you this because I always buy these when I see this is in a stupid dollar bin. I buy this stupid Gen 13 number 1 every single time.
I do too.
I don't know why.
I don't know why I do. He says.
I just do. I think I've got like
one when I see it. I grab that one. Whatever.
I'll tell you why, because that book was going crazy back during the Image days.
It was. Sorry, I'm adjusting my camera. I found this for a really good price. I've had a couple of these before, but it's the Mayhew.
Oh yeah.
The Spider-Man vampire variant.
Oh, nice.
I never have seen that one out in the world.
Yeah. So Mayhew is just if you will follow his Instagram, his interiors are crazy good. And then when I got that Spider-Man, I also got this Cry for Dawn I think this is number 8, but it's signed by Linsner. So that was kind of cool. And that was pretty much it for the Raws. Then I got a CGC order in for Friday. And first of all, I want to say that all those people that are like crushing on CGC for that Superman 1, they obviously know what they're doing, and probably has Z more than anybody since he does more Golden Age. But all the Golden Age people that I've seen have no problem with it at all. So all the people that are like mad about it are like modern collectors, and I'm sure that they handle a modern book different than they do a Golden Age. So
yeah, I mean, I've seen several pretty big time people like it. Just is what it is. It's a 1.0. You're gonna look through it. People are gonna look through it. It's a different style of paper. It's not gonna affect it the same way. I mean, I've had 50s books sent to me in a manila envelope, and they survive pretty well because that paper's just flimsy.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't really have a problem with CGC, and I got these books back this week. So I got a
because he said that they're all 9/8. Just so you know.
Right. So I got a. I
That's
did.
sweet.
I don't
I
have
did
a problem either. You guys have my books right now.
How fast was the CGC sub? Like a day, 2 days since your last? Like the last one you got was like 2 or 3 days during Christmas.
They got this one. They received this one on the 24th or 26th of February, and I received it back on Friday. So that was what, the 5th.
Is that fast pass?
Yeah.
That's pretty quick.
Modern fast. So it was like 9 days.
He just puts Ryder of the top 10 with his book.
Yeah.
This is
So anyways,
Ben S. Don't piss me off.
So anyways, I finally got around to actually grading my Young Avengers. So I got a 9.8 on that one. Finally got around to grading my Venom 3 that I got off of Midtown. Got a 9.8 on that.
Nice.
This is one you don't really see every day. So Spider-Man 65. It's the
I can't believe you got a 9.8 on that. Oh my god.
Is that the one with the cassette?
yeah.
That
This
is
the one.
so hard to get and above
Yeah.
9.6, 9.4.
Yeah, I think there's only 12 9.8s maybe on the census. But this is the one that came from like Camelot Music or
Camelot,
Capitol Record or something like that. But
Yep.
There's only 1,000 of them made or something like that. But really tough to get a 9.8 just because of the cassette on the back of it.
What's the knife going for? Do you even know? Does anyone know?
I have no idea. I don't even know if I've seen a 9.8 sell recently. There's been some raws sell for like over 100. So I would assume, I don't know, a couple hundred, I would think.
But sometimes you get lucky, guys, and you'll find one for $10. Buy it now. So just be on the lookout for those cassette ones.
Right. I did get or sent this Image United #1, the McFarlane sketch, and got a 9.8 on that. I think that was a 1 in 50 variant. Hellboy #1, got a 9.8 on that.
Nice.
No wonder you don't have a problem.
I finally sent in 2 copies of my ASM 4s, the Silks, and I got 9.8s on both of those.
9.8.
God, I remember when Leg had like 48 of those damn things.
Right.
9.8s, not 48 copies.
This was my lone 9.6, and I thought I had a chance at 9.8, but after I looked at on the back, it actually does have a little bit of a scuff on the back, and that's probably what dropped it down to a 9.6. But it's Akira 38.
Oh, I think I
Throw it
remember.
away.
Found that for $1 once.
Yeah. And then finally, I did get the Sandman 75 second print.
Ooh, doggy.
9.8 back. So I thought when I got it, it had I'm all backwards. I thought when I got it, I thought that it had a chance because it was really, really nice. So I think I showed when I got it raw, like a couple months ago or whatever, that I found it in like a back issue bin.
Wasn't it with like Golden Age cowboy stuff or something you were telling me? It was like,
yeah, it's 1 of 2. There's 2 9.8s on the census, so this is one of them. So I'm surprised that I've actually had several offers already on it, but yeah. So anyways, that's what I got.
cool.
Freaking badass, man. That's cool that you're getting offers on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care. That's the thing is most of the books that I grade, it's not really books that I want. Like for myself, I'm okay to just get rid of. And honestly, I'm okay to give a decent deal on it too, because you guys know me. I don't really pay much for books to start with. So when they come back, I'm okay with going lower than what most people would probably.
Do it.
Don't say that, man. Don't say that.
Oh, my bad.
No, I don't care. I mean, honestly, you see how many books I really sell. I mean, I sell what? 10 books of every 6 months. I mean,
Yeah.
I just don't really sell that much.
I got cards because that's all I do now because that's my life. So I almost got the rainbow. I wouldn't say almost, but I got another Senzel. This one's out of which one's out? $2.99. So I got the purple and I think a blue.
Are you going for the master set?
No.
Because it feels like I think you're going because you got like 4 1-of-1s, right?
Well, I do, and then I picked up this one. This is a 3D version.
A what?
It's a 3D card. 2019 Topps On Demand 3D. I got this for cheap. 3D. It's a 9.5 Beckett.
Oh, that must have been something straight from their site.
Yeah, I think so.
A 3D.
Yeah, it's 3D actually. I guess it's hard to see on this one. So
Oh no, I can see it.
Yeah, I see it a little bit.
Yeah. Ain't too many of those out there. No, I don't know. What else did I pick up? Oh, I picked up an Allen Houston signed. This is in Panini Impeccable. So I got it for $20 out of 49. I wish it was with the Pistons uniform, but I'll deal with the Knicks. Knicks was my team back in the 90s with all the boys, Sprewell, Ewing, Houston.
Hey, Deno, if Nick Senzel turns into Mike Trout, I guess you're retiring.
Well, he hit his first home run today, so.
Oh, well, that's a plus.
I mean, after batting 0 for 0 or 0 for 100, I picked up a Roger Maris short print. I don't know if I showed this or not.
That's cool.
I picked up. I kind of spoiled it. The next short print I got is a Ty Cobb short print coming to me. I got it for like $25, or I think they were like going for 50 on eBay right now.
Oh, nice.
I got a Sekou card from the Pistons, so it's out of 50. So I don't know. People say he's decent. I mean, he's a Piston, so.
I thought you said you couldn't do basketball.
I got this for like $10.
He can't open basketball.
I can't open basketball.
Okay, that's a big difference.
And
Doesn't Luke Kennard play for the Pistons?
Yes, he does.
Luke Kennard's from right here.
Yeah.
Right
That's why I don't collect them. I'm joking. I don't have a joke. And then this boy, I got a Lucas Giolito auto patch out of this one's numbered out of 25.
That's a nice patch.
Yeah.
Got 3 colors in there.
Yeah, 3 color Bowman Inception. I got this for like $60. I don't think that's a bad thing. I thought for an auto patch under 25, that's not a terrible dig. And then the greatest pickup. I didn't even show the boys after this. So I bought a trash can.
all your other cards.
Yeah, so that and all the other breaks I do because I'm like ripping stuff and this crap's all over here. So now I can just like throw all this stuff in a pickup bin or in a trash can. So that's what I got this week. So
cool. I got 2 cards and a comic.
All right.
Graduated from packs to singles. I got a BAM.
Adebayo.
It's shiny.
Nice.
It's shiny.
It's the shiny one with the dots in the background.
Is it on the back? Is it numbered?
No, I don't think any of them. I have 2 of them. I don't think either of them are numbered.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know.
What's the other shiny card you got?
Yeah.
I got my first PSA 10.
Ooh.
Shiny one as well.
So who is this Bam Adebayo guy?
He's supposed to be one of the best defenders in the league. Think like Bruce Bowen back in the day.
Defenders don't make money though.
Well, I mean, not according to Gary Vee.
He's not bad.
I think I was gonna say I think he's averaging about 15. Probably 15.
Look at Joe Dumars.
Not bad, that guy.
Joe.
Joe Dumars is a Hall of Fame player. That rookie is probably you could pick up for $30. I don't mean to rain on your parade, Paul. Great job.
Hey man, 5 a parade and it's not rained on. Something's wrong. And then I did pick up one comic. Matt King sent me this link to this old.
Oh, that's badass.
And so I put an offer in, and the guy accepted it. And then it came in the mail. Watch what magically happens when I take it out of this.
I already know what's happening.
Oh, are you kidding me?
It stickers right in the book.
Oh my god.
So I'm like, all right. I mean, whatever. It was like $6 shipped.
So you can take it off if you're very, very careful.
Yeah, maybe I'll play with
You
it
should
sometime.
have somebody else take that off, but yes.
So what you do is just rip it off really quickly.
Like a Band-Aid.
Like a Band-Aid.
I get a blow dryer but yeah, that's cool. I got some old toys in the back and
I love those free giveaways. It's like a free giveaway, right?
yeah. Limited edition, exclusively at Toys R Us. I don't know. It has a price on it. So
Yeah, why they put a price tag on it if it's a free giveaway?
Yeah.
$2, but
Gives it character.
that's all I got. I have one of these that doesn't have a sticker on it, but yeah, it's got some spine ticks and things. So yeah, I'll take a blow dryer to it and peel that off or something.
That's cool.
The man, the myth, the legend. He's got multitudes of pickups.
The Big Show.
I apologize. I missed a week, and then I went dollar bin digging in honor of Peter, and then my mother's yelling at me to clean out shit from her house, so I got that stuff. So I just got a plethora of amusing things to show. Since Peter's here, I will show. I went and did a little dollar bin diving. We got some shark comics for my boy, so we did that.
I just found some Street Sharks actually this weekend myself.
I didn't show those. He already took them to his room. This is just some older books that caught my eye. This Prince Valiant. I only bought it as a King copy or King Comics, but it had a Flash Gordon story. I like some Flash Gordon, so I grabbed it. Treasure Chest is another one of those series that is really, really cheap, but there's some cool covers, and I just space vibe, and I'm like, for $1, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Golden Age, cool cover for $1. Cool. A book I haven't seen in the dollar bins in a while. A couple copies of Legends #3.
Oh yeah.
Not selling for much, but still worth it for $1. I'll put it away for next bit of hype. Never find any Image newsstand, but I found a Pit #2. So we'll take it. And this was the win of the day. It wasn't $1. It was $3 whole. It is Start Collecting Comics book here. But on the back is an Amazing Spider-Man #1 mini comic reprint.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Not figured out the exact value. It's a bit of a hard one to hunt down. I see them listed for $50-$60. I don't really see any sold yet, especially when it's all kind of complete like this. So, actually, I've taken it back. It's missing. Somebody cut out part of it, so the book's not complete, but the book inside's still in its original package. So
can you take that out and grade just the Spider-Man?
yeah, I could. I mean, it's probably mint. It's in a nice little container. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I haven't done enough research, but it's in like a nice hard container, and there's no bins on it or anything. They just actually ripped out the book to show it's there. I think the girl at the shop said, like, this book's been sitting there forever, and I think somebody finally ripped this so they'd see that there's a mini comic on it. I've probably passed it up 5 times. So keep an eye out for it just in case, because there's 2 or 3 versions of the mini comic. I've only seen a couple listings with this red background, so I think it's a little less common than some of the others. So there, for Peter, you're welcome. Cool. I went out for you and did some digging.
Nice.
This is one I talked about on the Global Comic Safari with my boy Matt, who's in the chat. And Ben did an article on it, so I grabbed it from our friends in Turkey. They're Parallel Renver, which is Parallel Universe. Turkey did some amazing fantasy reprints. Also got a couple other ASM stories in here, so it's a little thicker than the original. But this one was a limited at 250 by an artist named Sealor is the last name. But just the Gwen and the Miles was too cool to pass up. And I'm like, nobody has this, It's in Turkey.
Yeah.
So who the heck has Turkish comics with this great cover? I wouldn't be surprised if we see it somewhere else in the very near future. I'm going to save the good stuff, my favorites, for last. I might have forgot one even. That's annoying. So my mother was yelling at me to clean up my room, and I found some cool stuff. We will all remember this, the classic baseball game. At one point, there was a Bo Jackson in here that was worth probably $100 in my brain, and it was the coolest thing. Those cards are no longer there because I know they're in a box in my collection, but I had to show that off since you guys are always all about cards. I recall there being a couple other cool ones in there. At one point, it was a sought-after thing.
I was going to make a joke that you still live with your mom and she's telling you to clean out your room.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff's been sitting there for 20 plus years, and now she's like, "Get it out of my house." Yes, okay. Now my wife's like, "What the hell are you doing with it?" Another game, Heroes Quest. I'm only showing this off because I got this.
Dude, my cousin, I'll buy that from you right now. Oh my god!
But like this one is unpunched.
So well.
This one's unpunched. The figures are still all there.
My cousin will buy it from you right now. He loves it.
I've seen it selling for $100-$150 for a nice copy, so that's nice. I have not had a chance to go through the big system. If it's complete, that's $100-$200. So crazy stuff, right? All the stuff from our youth we want back.
Exactly.
BattleTech. Anybody played that one? That was a little less vibe, only about $40 going on. And then the one that's probably most appropriate for the show was the Marvel superheroes game. Apparently, I never actually cut the cards out of this one, so that's probably a plus.
Nice.
But this one doesn't seem to sell for but $25-$30. But I thought it'd be cool to kind of put in the remodel once I get there. So
would PSA grade that, Brian? Like uncut sheet like that?
No.
I don't think so.
Not that I think so, but they will grade cut cards. That's a big deal. A lot of companies back in the day used to put 4 cards on the bottom of every box, and a lot of the football ones are worth some money. So like 87 Topps football, 85 Topps football. They're like the 85 Topps football set was black, but the cards on the bottom are red. So people wanted those. So I have like 10 to 20 cut cards that I've had graded. So I'll show them to you later on.
I also found a rolled poster.
Ooh, I love that stuff.
It's not as cool as I wanted it to be, but it was this Ron Lim and some other guys fake autograph Marvel Vision. So I thought, oh, that's nice. I mean, it's in there. I've never actually taken it out, it appears, and might look good in a frame somewhere. Not particularly valuable, but why not? The copy up here sucks, but it's the only one I could find that was full. And
that's pretty cool.
I didn't take this one out, but if you can read it, the man, Bo Jackson.
Nice.
Raiders poster.
If any of you guys ever come across any of those old school Jordan posters like that, those are worth a lot of money.
And Matt, I see you in there, and I apologize. You sent me a book, and I left it upstairs, but he actually sent me something that is unbelievably cool. Framed it for me. This is a Golden Apple advertisement from James O'Barr doing one of his first signings for the Crow. That's pretty sweet.
Nice.
That's badass.
While I do not know if it's rare or not, I can't imagine a ton of them survived. And it's in pretty nice shape. And you know I'm a lover of the Crow, so it is just a cool artifact that is going to add to my collection. So
okay, this is gonna be a stupid question, but why do you need a 24-hour hotline?
I do not know. Right? Questions, man. Questions. This is
Isn't Golden Apple the place where all the actors would go get their comics?
I think so. They were pretty famous. I know when our buddy DeVoe was on here, he'd talk about Golden Apple editions. That's where Todd did his Spider-Man 1 with the stamp.
Yep.
So it's a pretty famous shop. A great piece of art on it too. So thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. I got a book and I mistakenly left it upstairs because I was admiring it. So I'll show that off next time. Foreign comic as well. And then this is actually from 2 weeks ago, but this is a grail. My wife's still bitching at me for spending the money on it, but I don't care. The WoW Comics, number 10, CGC 7.5. I've been chasing this dog for a long, long time. I've got a kind of a rough copy that I've owned. For those of you that don't maybe see the resemblance, pull it off the wall. Tell me these don't go together.
Yeah, those are great.
It's a 7.5. I got it for less than last six, or right at the same amount. The same last six sold. Wrong book. And it is gorgeous. The front cover is a 9 plus all day. The only damage is a little bit of a spine split and a little back staple tear. So this one is probably not leaving my collection until my wife kills me and sells it all. So
How many are graded higher?
I believe there were five higher, 2.85s and 3.8s maybe.
What number is that?
Number 10. This was like number 6. I recall there being 5 higher or 5 the same. So not a lot.
You said number 6? I'm sorry.
No, number 10. Wow, number 10.
Number 10.
Got
I
some
wanna
good
s-
friends to send you links, huh?
Yeah, this was a Paul dub say. I hadn't even had it on my watch list because I was trying to behave, and he sent it to me. And I'm like,
Is that Fawcett 43 from 43 Fawcett?
yeah.
We have 2 8.5s, 1 qualified at an 8.0 for some reason.
I don't count that.
And then 3 7.5s.
Okay.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
It's only 2
Oh.
higher?
2 higher, I guess. Maybe I misread the 8. I might have looked at the last column and not noticed the qualified. So, yeah, that's a beast of a book.
Mhm.
I don't know why it's so tough. I just never see them. Like, I watched for that book forever, and I just don't see them very often. I've seen a few rags copies, and I might have seen one of the 8.5s go at a big auction, but that's it. So, love it. That is one that I will accept the wife's anger at and just move on.
Would you think Mary Marvel, I guess, because you see a lot of Captain Marvel stuff from that era, right? You see a lot of older books like that, but I would think how many people actually probably collected Mary Marvel back in the day and it survived, coming out of World War II.
Well, I think, it was kind of more of a, quote, girls comic and wasn't as popular a character, so it didn't kind of get – I mean, yeah, while there was high print runs, it wasn't anywhere near like Captain Marvel Adventures or Wiz or some of the others or, Action Comics. So I think you started with a lower number. It was one that probably people kept less in general. It was more of a throwaway. And how'd they know we would just love cheesecake art, you know, this many years later?
Years ago, so there's, factor that in.
Yeah. I mean, that has now moved into one of my top probably 5 books in my collection. I just am ecstatic.
He says he'll take the lower old Raw book.
All right, so I found a couple pickups, and one of them is just because of Jon Z said that he's sure that some will be popping up sometime soon, and I thought I talked about this on the show, but I maybe didn't, and I'm glad Z let me know where this came from because I forgot.
Oh yeah,
So,
there's some other nice ones. If you go check it out, ASM 15 Turkish. They had one standard cover, which is like the AF15 standard, and there's about 5 variants with print runs between 250 and 500. This one was out of 250, but there's some nice artwork there.
So here's
some artists you
my
don't see every day.
here's my other pickup, and this is another Paul thing that Paul sent me way back in the day that I forgot I bought that was sitting in a bag in the corner of my garage.
That's the best you're ever going to have.
I'm glad I picked it up, but the problem is I don't know how to use it. I feel like I got the one that has the smaller label.
You need to get the XL, that label XL.
So can I not use the 450?
I have the, hold on.
I don't think you can print UPS. Well, you might be able to print the small postage, not the big postage.
What if you just resize it?
Oh, they'll be pissed at you.
I
Your
printed
mailman
some
will
labels.
kill you.
I printed some labels from Amazon that were like for UPS that were super small and some that are super big. So I don't know.
So I can't use this then.
I don't
Paul.
know, man. I think you need
God
the bigger
damn
size.
it, Paul.
That's what you need.
Okay.
It's all about size with these boys, man. The bigger, the better. That's what.
Well, here's the worst part. I didn't realize this.
You bought 72 rolls.
No, I bought 2 of these accidentally.
Oh no!
Oh god!
Yeah.
What if you put them next to each other and print half the label on the top,
I got
put
2
half
of
on
them.
the bottom?
Yeah. So what the hell am I gonna do with this damn thing now?
Like a dual, you dual printer, like a dual monitor.
Yeah.
One win and one loss for Paul tonight. Sorry, Brian.
Brian's gonna ship those to you just because he's annoyed with you.
I'll tell you mine, dude. I don't even use it half the time.
Maybe Deno needs it for the mailing the cards because they're so much smaller. He doesn't need the big post.
Yeah, I'll switch you.
I bet you could print like 4 postage stamps on it.
Yeah.
Just not the big mailing labels.
Yeah, so the mailing labels come in 4x6, and if you go on eBay, I'll have to talk to Leg because I think Leg or Scotty said it for us. You can change how the label prints out in 4x6 or a different kind of stain. So you gotta mess with the eBay settings to do it.
Okay.
Well,
Darn. But yeah.
Paperweights, bookends.
So real quick, I gotta give a shout out to Peter for his foreign article because
Good one.
he gave a lot of love, in my opinion, to one of my favorite characters that doesn't get a lot of love in the secondary market is the Captain Britain, the UK Captain Britain comics, and those for me are like stuff that I cherish whenever I find them. And then if you get lucky enough and you find them with the inserts, whether it's the mask or the boomerang or the mask, the airplane. There's one with an airplane later on.
Who got the stash of those? Was it Van?
I picked up probably 6 of them at I think I talked about it on the show. My local comic shop guy back in the day, about, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, called me up and he's like, "Hey, I just got a big collection and a bunch of it's from the UK." And I shot over there and it was all like magazine.
Would you have sold me one?
What?
Would you have sold me one?
What do you mean? I'll sell you one if I have.
No, I bought one like 4 or 5 years ago. I remember. I don't remember the story because the mask was intact, but the rubber bands were 40 years old and just had disintegrated.
Oh yeah. They're none. Most of the copies I have, the mask just falls out now.
Yeah, it doesn't stay in. It's tough.
So, and it's a great book. It's a tough book to get in high grade. I actually graded one of my Captain Britons. It was back when Psylocke was getting really hot, and
the 8,
number 8, and I got a 9.4 on it. So,
that's a beast.
And exactly, if it can you imagine? And there's 9.8s out there and 9.6s of most of these Captain Britain books, and there are the shittiest of newsprint paper.
Oh, they're terrible.
Yeah, they're just great books. I love them. I love the color. I love that Captain Britain old school outfit with the lion.
Yeah,
I like the cross one too. What do they call that?
The Union Jack.
Union Jack, yeah, the Union Jack. The Union Jack one's badass too. Both his costumes. I can't believe that we haven't seen anything movie-wise or TV yet on Captain Britain. With everything that's been good about the Avengers, how have they not brought a Captain Britain character to the screen?
I think he's one they'll roll out over time.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually.
With the X-Men, he might have been tied up in rights too.
Yeah.
I mean, he could be qualified as an X-Men with the whole Psylocke thing.
Well, he's not, but Psylocke.
Yeah, but you don't know how they divided up those rights, you know?
Yeah, it's like where he first appeared over here, and
it's not always the first appearance. I mean, a lot of times, but some of the Fantastic Four stuff was a shit show of who got what villain and where. But Peter's article, the Usual Suspects, is one of the best when he gets it around because it's all the pictures for us that don't like to read that much, and all the just the amusing comments. It's a interactive article is what I'm going to call it. Yeah,
one of the best articles that's being written on the site. So make sure you guys go check out. If you guys don't know what we're talking about yet, make sure you guys go to comicbookinvest.com and check out all the cool articles that are over there. I'll say it again, like I say it every time. It's our age's wizard, is the way I put it. So
I just sent the link to his article in the YouTube chat.
Yeah. It's very good. So make sure you guys check it out.
While I enjoy dollar bin digging, I'm usually too lazy to go do that, but always good stuff there as well.
Dollar bin digging always makes me angry.
I don't find any of that shit.
How did you not say anything about this Action Force stuff, Brian?
What do you mean?
That
I was getting into that. So the Action Force stuff, I think me and Peter talked about this before. It was maybe on Hot 10 where we talked about how My favorite Action Force covers are those. They have like 3 or 4 covers where it's like it's Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes. I want to say there's another one, maybe with Zartan or Flint. But I know the Storm Shadow and the Snake Eyes ones are
those are the ones that sell.
Yeah, and they're badass covers. It's just like from a chest up of Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. And I don't know if they're pointing or something like that, but they're really cool covers. And some of the Action Force books have some really cool images of the toys. Like I think it was like maybe the first issue. Is that the first issue that has what's his name on it? Yeah,
the first got Flint on it because they had Flint as like their de facto leader over there.
Yes. And so that's what I was getting at, is that the crazy thing is Flint. I was a Flint fan. I hated Duke. I thought Duke was cheesy. So I was a big Flint fan, and they went ham on Flint in the UK stuff and the Action Force stuff. So, but there's Peter's got the images of the covers on there, and they've got some really cool covers. But they're that same type of material. I think past like 1 or 2, maybe issue 1 and 2 have like a magazine type maybe material to the cover, but the rest are the same type of material from
those later ones. The paper is awful. Like they're near magazine size, but the paper is so thin.
Yeah, it's great, man. I love it, and I love how you put that final image up of where it's Destro and Zartan in the background, and Zartan's got the camouflage going. It looks like he's like turning blue.
Well, it's weird because they kind of like split like the issues like across two books. Like some of those pairs, it's like one issue is kind of split in there, but then they have other stories and things in there.
Yeah, that's weird. But yeah, Action Force, love it. Anything G.I. Joe, I'm game. So.
Yeah, me too.
Here's the Captain Britain I pulled up with the mask inside. I did like that this was a Britain exclusive or UK exclusive rather.
Yeah.
Yep.
How cool for them at the time is, and they had this letter from Stan Lee.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, they're a bitch to put in a bag and a board. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
they're not quite as big as the like the Warrior One.
Yeah, they are. Well, they're not maybe not as tall, but wide.
Yeah, there's why they're not as
close.
Well, because that damn Warrior One only fits in like a Time Life fucking bag.
Really?
Yeah, it's a bitch.
It
doesn't fit in a Mylar.
Yeah, it's a big time pain in the ass. There's a lot of those books. You know what? I would love to find a definitive place to buy bags and boards for those books for 2000 AD, the older 2000 AD, the newsprint 2000 AD.
Those are bastards too.
Warrior. What's the other one? Deadline. Yeah, Deadline. Jesus.
I have Deadline in an art print case right now because I can't find anything for it.
No, you can't find anything for it. It's really tough.
They gotta have something over there, don't they? I mean, it's their stuff.
Yeah, but they don't make them over there. It's all made here.
It's
made.
You know what?
And it's only like a handful of books, so nobody's buying enough.
Here we go. Jon Z and Matt Roy will need to do a global comic safari on bags and boards.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Oh God.
I wanted to share my screen again real quick. This Harley, I love this cover. I have one. It's not 9.8 gradable, but
I just bought one because I just needed to have one after I saw it.
You bought it raw?
Yeah.
I don't want to give him credit here. Who was this? Chris Uno posted that the original art sold on Heritage several years ago. I mean, look at that. It's a little racy right there.
Yeah, you look it's higher up on the hip there. Yep. A little less straight jacket.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice one.
We're talking Harley art. I'm a little pissed off. Not Harley, but Hughes. My shop has had a old school, like circa Adam Hughes' first 2 or 3 years on the scene piece of OA. It was a Catwoman watercolor, and he didn't even sign AH. He was still signing Adam Hughes, I think maybe 93. It's had it on the wall for years, and I eye it. There's a Dead Man by Neil Adams I eye to every time, and I'm I was like, I'll come to get it next time I sell a big book. Some dude bought it. He's been posting it all over Facebook like, oh, this is the most treasured piece from my collection. It just disappeared this month, and now he's trying to sell it for like 50% more. I'm like, dude, that's a dick move.
How much did it sell for?
I don't know. It was on the wall for about 800.
Robert saying that it was his first foreign comic was that Harley.
I think the issue is like nobody believes it's Hughes because it's so old a style.
Yeah.
That was probably mine too, Robert. No, I didn't move forward with the bug like you did, but I just think it's pretty. I think it's tastefully naughty, tastefully dirty, however you want to say it.
Plus, I'm not paying the variant price for the other one.
Well, and I think one other foreign one you included that was probably my first foreign interesting item, maybe not the first one I bought, was the old
that one.
Turner German.
Yeah.
The Supergirl, which is still one of the most beautiful books out there.
It is.
Still wish I would have.
There's some green and some blue labels.
Because like somebody was.
All of a sudden, the marker's okay.
Somebody was, doing CGC at the time. I don't know if they're numbered or not numbered. They may be escape not being numbered. There's also some artist proof, so they'll have an AP next to the number. It's very confusing, but most are green label. There was a blue label sold for $22.50 about 3 months ago, and I completely missed it.
Yeah,
or I would have at least told Doc Joe to get it because he's been dying for one. There's one SS complete yellow label too, and that one just hasn't come for sale in 5, 6, 7 years.
Why, honestly though? Why don't they just use a blue label? Because I've seen blue labels that have a comment on it to say signed or writing on writing on cover, and they're 9/8. I mean, they're blue labels. Why didn't they just make it a blue label?
Who's a friend of CGC, or somebody had a witness when they did it? It's crap.
Who knows?
I got one for you guys, a question that kind of goes along these lines. I was talking with my buddy Kyle from Absolute Geek Podcast the other day, and we were talking about he got his first Gwen Stacy signed by the Rodriguez and the other guy in sketched. And he had the one guy sign it and it be authenticated. Sorry, he had one guy sign it on his own and never got authenticated, and then went and had Rodriguez, I guess, do a sketch and sign on it and had that authenticated. And there's through CBCS, and CBCS is doing a yellow label that says it shows the Rodriguez is authenticated, but the first one isn't, but it's still a yellow label.
Huh.
I think
So
CBC
I told him,
red.
I could go fake a Stan Lee autograph on there and then go get it signed by Adam Hughes and witnessed and get a yellow label, and it just says Stan, and the other thing is marker.
It's all
people see yellow label and they think authentication.
Yeah.
It's all a game.
I that pissed me off. That really pissed me off. I don't know, how long they've been doing that or what their deal is, but he's, he could have wrote the first artist. He could have done it himself and then just go get anybody to witness that other artist, sign it and get a yellow label for it and sell it as a yellow label for both autographs. So that kind of pissed me off. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that.
No, there's some games you can play.
Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit.
I see a lot of people will get like the Resto with the gold label so it looks less purple.
Yeah.
It'll have the purple stripe, but people will pay less attention.
Yeah.
Just hide it.
Yeah.
It's weird. So anyways.
Did I hear that CBCS is getting new cases?
And they bringing the rivets back?
I recall hearing a rumor of that. I know Nico from Nico Time on the Wars podcast was interviewing Barack, and he didn't confirm nor deny it.
Did you go on the Nico show?
I did do the Nico show 2 Saturdays ago, so if you haven't checked it out, you should. I blabber on and talk all by myself without these fools interrupting me for an hour.
Oh, good stuff.
How'd it go?
It was good. It was a fun talk. We talked about the state of the market. We talked about why I'm collecting what I collect. How do I go about collecting, and all that good stuff.
Very cool.
That there's a lot of chat this past month because of the coronavirus and the market going to shit this last 2 weeks, and everybody's like, sky is falling. But is comic sky falling, or just certain segments, or what's happening there? I see a lot of posts all over the place on that. Somebody did a big long post on original art. Is it is it time to bail? No, it's time to buy. It's time to buy it all.
Yes. Yeah. That kind of brings up something that we talked about earlier on when Ben was going through his pickups, and that's this whole craziness that's going on over the Superman 1 video and stuff. Do you guys know much about that? Because I don't. I've only seen portions of the video. What is going on? What is everybody angry about? Do we know?
There's a lot of people feeling like CGC handled the book rough. I think the issue is they're not used to Golden Age book, Golden Age paper. It was also, supposedly from everything I've heard, a 1.0 with cutouts or 0.5 with cutouts, so it was not going to get any worse.
So Bryan, so they basically took like a book, and then they were showing it, and then they were just thumbing through it like this to count the pages, but they were doing it faster than that. I mean, he was really fast on it, but I mean, I think the point was what people were just thinking that it was like a new book, and those pages are just so much more pliable than what these are. And so these guys, look, I don't.
That doesn't gonna matter.
Hey,
it isn't.
The owner of the book had no problem with it. So if the owner of that, what is a 1.0 of that is still Superman 1 is still what, probably 100,000.
I've seen several of the biggest collectors in the market on IG and various places be like, "There's no issue here, guys."
Yeah, so
everybody's like, "You should be wearing gloves every time you touch a comic." I haven't donned a pair of gloves to touch a comic yet.
I never ever use gloves because you can't. You lose. It's the same way with cards too. I mean, yeah, maybe if I had something crazy, I might consider it, but it's pointless. If you can just be careful, it's pointless.
Adam put no gloves, though fingerprints. I get it. On a modern book, it's going to leave fingerprints, but on a book like that, it's not. That paper is just not the same. It's like a newspaper. It's not doing the same thing. Sure, in 20 years, could there be a little bit of a yellowing there versus another spot? Maybe, but again, people are acting like he's eating Cheetos and drinking a beer while he's grading. They're not. Most people that collect those style of books are like, we've all done the same.
Yeah.
Lesson learned, CGC just shouldn't fucking let people behind the glass and keep the mystery. Keep the mystery, guys. Be the wizard behind there.
Is that what they were doing? They were doing on-site grading from like a con?
At C2E2. This video came out of C2E2, and they gave...
somebody was maybe hosting video content for CGC.
Yeah.
So they bit their own ass on that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised they let him do that, considering how everything they do is like Fort Knox.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I remember that one time I was on a business trip down in Florida, in Sarasota, and I had sent books in like 2 weeks before that, and I contacted somebody and said, "Hey, I want to just, rather than just shipping it back, I'm down here. Let me just swing by, pick them up." I was like, "You already charged me the shipping, but honestly, I'd just rather just pick them up." And they were like, "Okay." So I get there, and I kid you not, I mean, they acted like I broke into the Pentagon. I mean, they were mad at me for showing up. I mean, it was like I had to show ID. I mean, it was crazy. And all I could do was go in this little room in the entrance, and that was it. There was no people. There was nothing. There was no. I mean, I couldn't see anything. It was just like a waiting room. That was it. But they were so mad at me for showing up there. I mean, that was 7 years ago, something like that.
I just think it's a different ball game. Yes, they probably shouldn't have shown the video. Who knows? Maybe they wear gloves on site. This could have been just for promo, and I want to show it, and the owner agreed. I don't know. I just think it's internet rage, just like anything else.
Yeah, the conspiracy theorists are always looking for something.
I think the thing is, like, we handle our books so carefully. We want to send them in top loaders that we know we're never going to get back. Like, we do our utmost. We pay extra money to get them pressed, and then this video surfaces of somebody just manhandling a book that maybe the
manhandling's a bit of a overstatement here.
At least he didn't lick his fingers.
I mean, I don't know. Everybody that's outraged, I'd love to find one that collects Golden Age books and has some experience with it. They're just a different ballpark. Now, if it's Brittle Pages, that'd be different. These guys know what they're doing. I have never said CGC doesn't have quality graders or know what they're handling. Yes, sometimes quality control is a little bit of a mess, and people putting the books in slabs have some issues, but I think the grading folks at both these companies, CBCS and CGC, are top notch. They know what they've been doing. They know how to handle books. It's just, whatever.
Yeah, in some cases, you don't want to know how the sausage is made.
Exactly. I mean, listen, guys, these books are 60 pages or 52 pages. If they took the white gloves out and slow counted them, it would be months before they graded any books. They do this. They do it all day. Whatever you do in your job, you probably do it faster than anybody else is doing it. That's how they do it.
Don't ask what a hot dog's made of.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like when Paul used to transport organs, I mean, he just dropped them on the floor, but we don't need to know that, right?
Well, they still work. Okay.
No harm, no foul.
10-second rule on them.
Yeah,
5-second rule.
Yeah, 5-second rule.
No, but honestly, I mean, I think people just need to chill out. There's no conspiracy. There's no just relax.
I think CGC should learn maybe not to have in-depth coverage next show.
Yeah, I'll bet that's the last time that happens.
Yeah, probably.
That was a great idea gone wrong.
I wonder if anyone lost their job over that.
No, because I think the guy that was doing it is like their most experienced grader.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, seriously. I mean, it's $100,000 book. I mean, are they gonna put their intern on that? No.
Listen, if CGC or if CBCS thought that it was inappropriate, you don't think they'd be jumping all over this bandwagon?
Yeah, they're like we do it all the time.
I think that crew, if they thought there was some bad stuff happening and it was inappropriate, they would be jumping on and attacking. And I haven't seen that happen. Has anybody else?
No.
Then to me, that is standard. If you're done doing this and know what you're doing, whatever.
Did CGC come out and make a statement?
I haven't seen anything.
No, I think they just.
Yeah, I paid very little attention to the whole thing.
Truthfully, if your book is not brittle, it's a Golden Age book, and the staples are fine, that paper will bend and roll and not color break and not do all these things that you're used to it doing. It's just a different paper, whole different world.
I like this. I'll share another from Peter's Dollar Bin digging article. I like that Punisher cover's nice.
Oh yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah, that one's solid. So just a couple ones to keep an eye out for when you're out digging.
Some of the stuff is just cover. If it looks good to you, it probably looks good to most people.
Yeah,
right. That was a free evaluation. That wasn't they weren't grading that book. That was a free evaluation. It says. Have you guys heard that?
I hadn't heard that till just now.
It says sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'm just because I haven't seen much of it. I went to their Facebook site just to see if they said anything, and it says it was a humbling experience having the opportunity to witness such an amazing grail have its pages counted. It takes a lot of confidence and experience to work with a book like this one. I've handled a lot of gold in my life. This was a free evaluation done CGC Comics booth 1951 with its owner. What grade would you give this original Superman? So I don't know. It was just, people are, because I've heard a lot of people say that, oh, they're paying money to get graded. And I get that. If you're paying good money to get graded, you want your book taken care of. But that was a free evaluation. So maybe that's, that changes things. I don't know. I don't. And the like you guys said, the owner was standing right there. So Who knows? I've heard a lot of people cry about it, and I just haven't seen the video. I just watched the video for the first time, and it's interesting.
I mean, it looks weird, but again, none of us are graders, so we don't know what they do. All I know is they send me back 9/8. That's all I know.
Shoot. All right, Peter, you got anything else in your anything else in the pipeline coming up for us?
I'm trying to figure out what to do next.
Yeah.
I know I got to do a Wizard Rewind for last February, so I got a couple that I'm flipping through, deciding whether I want to go with 1996 or 1998. Seeing what's more interesting to me. Usual Suspect wise, I'm kicking around a couple of ideas. Looking at Jon Z's book, that little mini book, I'm thinking there might be something with like odd sized books. Maybe I'll look into something like that.
Yeah.
Totally throw out an idea of something about Westerns. I was kind of looking into that at work today.
I just saw John's
Westerns.
Yeah.
Man,
Marvel Western characters. Let me look into those.
man, what kind of dirt does Z have on you?
Again, that was Topher threw that out.
Clowns.
But I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do next. But dollar bin digging, I already got most of that done for this Thursday. So I got a couple ideas to throw some things out there for people to grab. But again, don't know if I'm going to do the Wizard first or do another Usual Suspects first. But I'm going to try to get it out.
I enjoy them both. They're a little bit fun. They're not, they're not boring reads. The Wizards always just remind you of your childhood, so to speak.
Exactly. Plus, it's weird. Like flipping through, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that book. She #1. Everybody loves She, but
Man, the
where's
bad
it
girl
now?
stuff is so dead.
Yeah.
Hey, and Peter, I don't know if people tell you enough, but kudos to you, because it really is hard. People don't realize how difficult even to put out even a small article is really difficult, and you do multiple ones constantly. So, bravo, man! It's
thank you. Hey, whatever connects up here, I just throw it out there.
I really don't think people have any. They're like, oh, that's really that's not that difficult, or they just want to complain. But it's really, really hard to come up with something original as often as you do.
Yeah.
So
It was tough at first, but somehow over time, shit just kind of grew. Like Usual Suspects used to be 5 books. Now I'm doing like 15 every time that I roll that out. Even dollar bin digging, I was just doing 2, and then I started cheating and doing like a category instead of like a book and mixing a few covers in there. Now I just started throwing 4 in there. It's just there is so much content and so much that's, I guess, up in here for me, at least with dollar bin digging, that I just know to look for. I figured I got plenty of ideas to throw out there for people. Not all of them are going to pay off, but it's $1. So if you see it, maybe it turns into something, maybe it doesn't. You throw it in a box, see what happens. But at the same time, there's plenty out there of things that are hot when articles and things hit, and casting news. It's like, all right, well, go check those dollar bins, because that Enchantress 2 character is probably in the bins. You just got to go look for it. And again, there's plenty of options out there. And I know it's not the same for everyone, where the options that they have to go shop, like their LCSs may not carry the same books as other places. So you sometimes got to get creative. You got to go hit up flea markets. You got to go hit up, antique stores. Just go out there and look. There's tons of books, and there's tons of people who have books who don't know what they have. So while I try to put things that seem reasonable that you can find at a dollar bin, you can still find. I hear stories that people are finding New Mutants 98s and ASM 300s in dollar bins out at flea markets and things, because there's plenty of people selling comics who don't know what they have. And if you get there quick enough, it could be yours.
My LCS had a big collection they bought that they didn't look through good enough, and they priced the rest at $1, and somebody found a BA-12 in there.
Nice.
And I asked the guy, and he's like, I would have honored the price, but the guy said, hey, you don't want to sell this for $1, so they put it in their case.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Ben had a whole box of variants behind the Westerns he found, so
yeah, exactly.
And there's plenty of LCSs that leave like some gems in there intentionally. Like they know what they have. They buy a collection, they pull out the big books, and they say, all right, this is like a $10 book. I can take it out and put it on my wall for $10, or I can just leave it in a dollar bin, and somebody will find it, and they will know they found it here, and they'll come back.
Yeah.
And they'll probably buy 3 or 4 other crappy dollar books at the same time.
You move the $10, the $10 book, and get rid of extra overstock.
Because some of these books you'll never sell for 10. They can be on your wall for decades.
And there's stuff like, all right, it's a $5 book, but do you want to buy it off of eBay for $5 and pay $5 shipping? No. But if you find it for $1, you got it for $1.
Yeah.
You may never be able to sell it for $5, or maybe you will if it gets hot. You never know, but it's $1.
So, real quick, Solo Wookie or Chad hit up in the comments giving me crap about my drinkware, and this is an interesting story. So, Chad, you are correct. These are the Burger King glasses, and I have
glass ones, or is that a plastic?
No, they're glass, and I have them all. I have every single one. Nice. I think I probably have like 40 or 50 of these. And good story on these. So, my one of my best friends, his brother was at a garage sale, and there was a huge box of them just sitting there. And he's like, "How much for those?" And they're like, "Give me an offer." And I think he, said like, $20 or something. And next day he showed up to my door with a box. I mean, a box with like 40 of them. So all of my drink cups are Star Wars glassware right now. So big shout out to Big B, Bryan B. Thank you for this, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, these are the original from, this one is says Burger King and Coca-Cola on it. They're all from Burger King. But like Chad said, this one is Jedi, which is cool because it's got the my favorite, the Royal Guard, which is my favorite character. So I'm pretty stoked about those, and yes, I do use them, and yes, I do put them through the dishwasher disposal or dishwasher. I mean, so they look good. They're nice.
Yep.
What?
You don't chip, like the image doesn't chip off?
No, not that I know.
Anything in the dishwasher that has a picture on it.
I don't see any chipping on anything. So
are those worth money?
I don't know. I have no idea.
They were money on. I put in the dishwasher.
Sometimes the superhero ones are. I'm sure there's some value, but it's not crazy.
Well, they did come out back in the 80s, early 80s. 83 is when this came out.
I'm betting you can get $10 a glass if you really wanted to work it.
Yeah.
Hey, start throwing them on the ground and see if that increases our viewership, and we'll see. And then we'll see how much they're worth.
Hey man, you never know where you're going to find something to flip. You can find it in your glassware. You never know. So
that is true.
That's why you watch the flip side.
Ooh, I got a cool story about something bizarre. A long time ago, I was looking at a house in Kentucky, and it was a foreclosed house, and they hadn't come and cleaned it out yet, and I had to do an inspection on it or something like that, and there was a box of like liquor and there was a bottle of Maker's Mark that had I guess I don't know much about those things, but so when they put they dip the top of the Maker's Mark or whatever, so I guess because Maker's Mark is from Kentucky. Is it from Kentucky?
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah. So they did a special edition for UK for Kentucky Wildcats for one of their championships, like from like 97 or something like that. And so they did there's a piece of paper that runs over the top that's embedded in the wax that says 97 champs or whatever, something like that.
Huh. Like a Hershey Kiss kind of thing sticking out.
No, it's like a piece of paper.
You tear the wax.
Yeah.
I got you.
It's a tab.
Yeah. So it's a Kentucky Wildcats version of a Maker's Mark that, I mean, that's probably worth, who knows what that's worth. I don't even know how you could sell it.
You can't sell it on eBay anymore. I used to collect Maker's stuff. I still have some, but I mean, there was that was some of the original stuff. They had the Kentucky Wildcats championships. There was a few other things they did. Keeneland events, so they'd have an annual Maker's Mark gathering at Keeneland. Maker's Mark, if you're a fan, join the Ambassadors Club. Some cool stuff they send out. They send out a Christmas gift every year. You can get your own bottles made. If you are a member, you got to wait for the bourbon to actually age. So it's like 7 years. You can get several bottles out of your barrel, and they'll put your name on it, all that cool stuff. But somewhere around the late 90s to late 2000s, they were doing not lots of, but some commemorative bottles. I remember around 2000, don't quote me, let's say 2006-ish to 2008, they did like a Notre Dame one, an IU one, a Purdue one, a couple other team mixed colors. When the Colts won the Super Bowl, there's a really cool one I bought several of, and I have given away as gifts more than anything, but they actually had a blue label and were labeled to 8,000, and then they had the blue wax. So there's some cool stuff if you can find some of that, let's say late 90s, early 2000 makers. Again, I don't know where exactly you sell it, but there are definitely some hardcore collectors looking for it.
Got to be someplace you can sell it.
Yeah, eBay is a little wonky on the liquor thing.
Yeah, but
liquor. That's bizarre.
No,
I'm making old fashioned now.
Yeah, you're talking some big money in liquor and collecting liquor, man. Big.
You get some whiskeys and stuff. Oh yeah,
old bottles people have found it when demoing and stuff. There's a story on the news about it. You can make a big money reselling that stuff.
Well, out here in Arizona, back in the day, they used, we have desert everywhere, so they would just dump shit in the middle of the desert, right? And so what people
old ET cartridges,
they still do it, but back in the day, back in the 1800s, they would put most of their trash would decompose other than the liquor bottles, right? And the medicine bottles. So people go out and they take a long metal pole or like a rebar, and then they just push it in the ground. They go into the middle of the desert and they look for signs that it might be an old dump site. And then they just start pushing it in the ground until they hear themselves tinking against glass. And then they start digging and they pull out these beautiful old, like, you remember the old medicine bottles that were like a blue tinge? Yeah. They pull out those old medicine bottles and they pull out a lot of old liquor bottles and old beer. What do they call those things? The things that you like when you drink from it, you put it on your arm, like the jugs.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. So they find those, and it's pretty cool. I've been down many a YouTube rabbit holes watching these people find these glass bottles, and I've gotten about this close a couple of times to going out and looking. So, I mean, there's some big money in it.
There's also other random, like if you've got discontinued liquor, some of it's valuable. I used to buy, it's probably also mid 90s. Tanqueray had Malacca gin, and it was the first kind of what they call wet gin that didn't have quite the same flavor profile as most of them. And it was the best shit in the world at the time. And for a long time, they discontinued it. And then you kind of got in this heavy cocktail mixing culture. And you couldn't find that product, but there are people that wanted it, and you could sell that stuff for several $100 a bottle. I still have a couple boot bottles that I found at a dirt liquor store in the middle of nowhere one time. But like some of that stuff, because people crafting cocktails want it because it has the right flavor profile for that drink.
Yeah, for what they're doing.
Yeah, so there's weird stuff in the world, man. If you find something old and you don't see it, just buy it.
What about old school cologne and perfume bottles? Those things are really collectible.
Really? I haven't heard anything about those.
Actually, I got one for all these guys that are hunting the eBay. So again, cleaning out my shit from my mom's house. My dad had some liquor bottles. There is a bottle of Fighting Irish whiskey. It's got to be from at least the 60s, 70s because it's got the old tax seal on it. I can't find a bottle empty, not empty, nothing for this goddamn thing. When I pull up Fighting Irish whiskey, all I get is the Conor McGregor shit. But this thing is sealed. It is not Notre Dame, but it's Notre Dame themed dish. And I'm like, I've hunted for weeks and can't find a fucking sign. So I'd love if anybody happens to know some more on this, let me know, because I would think it's got to have some collectability.
We just made Paul go get something to drink.
Yeah.
Hey, I was just wondering, Bryan, is that going to be our new sub channel? Digging for bottles.
Digging for bottles.
So that Conor McGregor stuff reminded me. So when that stuff came out, this was the first print bottle, which is out of print now.
Really?
It has a red label, but there's nothing down here. On the second print bottle, which is now everywhere in mass production, it says "smooth is fast," and it's a darker label. So if you find any, which I don't know, you never know, but so that's the difference. But the one without "smooth is fast" on the bottom is what you
that's
want.
genius.
So that was the first print.
I used to stop if I'd be driving through small towns and look at their liquor store because they just don't turn their shelves very fast.
Yeah, that proper 12 is worth some money. If you can get them to sign it too, even an empty bottle. Money in there.
Like when you say worth a lot of money, like how much is that probably worth?
This bottle, I don't know. People were selling them empty on eBay for double. Oh, thanks for taking me off. For like double. So I don't know. I'd say I don't have to look, to be honest with you. Maybe $100, 120.
Wow. What do they sell for?
That's what they sell for. I think to buy them, I think they were 30.
Not bad. Not bad.
Anything.
Yeah. There's what up?
I heard it does not taste good. It's just but I've heard. I haven't opened one yet, but
big shout out to Mr. Bolos in the house tonight. Thank you, brother, for just telling those people to hit that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing too. We appreciate it. I remember as a kid, I think my grandfather might have collected them, or my grandmother might have collected them. Old liquor bottles that had like weird designs, like naked ladies and stuff. That the bottle was actually like a naked lady, or you know what I mean. And so they would collect those. Those things are probably worth big money. Another thing that goes along that lines, I got a buddy who his dad collects like the light in Christmas Story with the leg.
Yeah.
He collects lights that are like that have either like, the naked lady or something. And he just hit me up a couple days ago, and he's like, "Hey, my dad found this. He's going to put it on eBay, but if you want it, it's yours." I'm like, "I want it." So hopefully in the next week or so, I'll be getting in my first my naked lady light. It's not the light with the leg and the tassels. It's really cool. It's a lady. She's sitting in this pose, and then right on her leg is a light bulb. So there's all kinds of cool stuff that can take you down that rabbit hole of those old school glass, or I guess they're all glass, right? They might be like bronze or something, but those are very collectible, especially those naked lady lights and lamps and things.
I've been to the Christmas Story house.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Where's that at?
It is up in like Cleveland area. Even though the show or the movie's based in Hammond, Indiana.
I was about to say, I remember that. Yeah.
But the house that they actually used is in Cleveland. Yeah. I'll find a picture. I'll show you, because I took a picture with the leg lamp, and then I've got the BB gun.
Yeah, I love shit like that. I love stuff that is different and weird and not normal. And most of that stuff you're gonna find is old school stuff. But another thing that I remember my grandparents collecting was owls. They used to collect like and a lot of them were like old, Avon bottles, 70s cologne bottles, stuff like that. There we go.
It's X Panther.
So I found one for about looks like the standard-ish price is around $400 for a signed bottle.
Wow,
that's the second print with the smoothest fast on the bottom. So
wow.
I don't know how hard it is to get a signature by him. Probably not.
Yeah, be walking around with a bottle of liquor with you.
Yeah.
He's probably got them all. He's probably just handing them out.
Yeah. So that's my liquor spec.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's good spec in it, man, and there's always ways to make money. Look, people are selling non-liquor alcohol bottles for money now on eBay.
Yeah, people sell the empty ones of these too, but hand sanitizer, you can sell anything.
Some of that's empty. Like, don't try to collect like beer cans or soda cans that still have like soda in them. Because I remember, I think it was Phantom Menace. I tried to get a whole collection of the soda cans and just put them up on my shelf. Yeah, and then eventually everything was sticky. Everything was sticky.
Yep. Yeah.
Last.
Or you'll have an get a wild hair up your ass to take a drink out of one of those and have a chunky beer.
It's only McClay.
Yeah, back in the day here in Arizona, they put out special like Budweiser bottles when ASU won the Rose Bowl back in the 70s, and my dad had a 6-pack of that shit up, never opened for years, and well, you know how young boys can be when bets start growing around.
Oh God.
or you could pay for it like I did in Baltimore.
Oh, that's where I was going with this. I was going to ask Paul if he's had any chunky beer stories recently.
No.
I brought up Paul. I can't remember what it was. I was talking with somebody and I brought up, I was like, yeah, man, I got a buddy who loves this Canadian beer that he can only find somewhere. And one of my buddies goes, Labatt Ice. And I was like, that might be it. What was it?
It was this little bad ice, those big black cans.
Yeah.
I don't drink it anymore, though. Ugh.
Not after that. Not after chewing it. When's the last time you found any?
Yeah, it's still out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not rare. It's just that shop never sold any because of how bad it was. And it was dusty and old. And the guy, like, I asked for 6, and he's like, I have 4. They were all dusty. And like, man, these taste weird. Maybe it's just the water in Baltimore. I don't know. Oof. And then I poured it out in the sink, and I was like, that's why.
I remember listening to that story. I remember listening to that episode.
That was a funny story, man. Good times. Real quick, I think one thing that we want to kind of talk about before we go is there is let's see here. Definitely make sure you guys subscribe. But there is a con coming up, March 13th to the 15th, Northeast Comic Con.
Absolutely. We are days away this week, right? We are days away. I'm going to say days. It's fine. 4 days.
4 days.
Catch the guys. I know we're excited. We're going to do some cool stuff. Mike and Topher are going to put out some content, do some interviews. I'm going to do a panel or discussion or whatever you want to call it on foreign comics. We're going to do some Q&A. We're going to do some contest. And we're just go around and be a little rowdy like we usually are. So come on out, say hi. If you're CBSI, say hi.
Yeah, take a video of it. Any videos you guys can get of you guys scaring the shit out of these guys. Send our way. Yeah. We'll play them.
Yeah. So it's Boxborough, Massachusetts, which is about 45 minutes outside of Boston. So if you're in the New England area, come on and drive out. Come say hi.
Yeah.
I don't get that way very often, and I don't know that anybody's actually met Topher, so prove he's real.
Yeah, that's exactly that's the thing, right? If you guys see that Topher's going to be on the schedule, make sure you find a way to get out there. So, one of
the smartest guys in comics, man. He knows everything.
Yeah, for sure. And also make sure you guys, if you guys get a chance, go check out tosscomics.com, one-stop shop comics. They have this Decorum variant that's available. I think it's still available. I hope it's still available at tosscomics.com, one-stop shop comics. This is a exclusive to their store, so it looks like a very interesting new book. We keep on kind of mentioning the David Bowie / I don't know what else you would call it. It's kind of got the David Bowie. What was that Harrison Ford movie that I'm blanking on back in the day? The sci-fi movie,
Blade Runner.
Oh, Blade Runner.
David Bowie / Blade Runner kind of look to it. It seems.
Is that an ongoing or is that a miniseries?
That's a good question. I am not 100% sure, but
I think it might be ongoing.
Okay.
I think I pre-ordered issue 3, and it didn't say like 3 of 6 or anything like that.
Okay.
Someone from Facebook commented, "Where are we located?" I don't know if they meant at the con or us individually.
The con is Boxborough, Massachusetts. The site. I want to say it's God, I can't remember the name of the venue. I apologize. But if you're close enough to figure that out, you'll get there.
Yeah. Do I have it on here? No. You can just go to NEC and Northeast or necomiccons.com to get any more information about the con. That's NEcomiccons with an S.com.
And
I'm sure that
Taranko is still the guest of kind of honor, I guess, the big name. The big name besides Topher.
I'm sure they're going to have Ben C is going to put some stuff all over our Instagram too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't want to down the rest of the podcast, but I would be remiss to not mention that we lost one of the last great Golden Age artists today. Alan Bellman passed. So if you're not familiar, big time timely artist. He had not been on the con circuit, but probably the last 2 or 3 years he had kind of went back on the path and done some signings. So if you're lucky enough to meet him, great guy, fun character, and we'll miss him.
Yeah, that's something that we probably ought to look in, maybe doing a show about. Is there's some of these guys out there that are doing the con circuit that might not be with us much longer. So if you get a chance to go see them, you might want to do it. So very, very cool. All right. Other than that, you guys got anything else for the night?
Nope.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you guys joining us. Make sure you guys check out the Top 10 show every Friday. Check out Global Comic Safari. How you guys got a new episode coming out?
We are taking a brief hiatus because I've got this con coming up, and Matt is a little tied up this week, but we will rejoin you first Tuesday in April.
Cool. Very cool. So, but make sure you guys definitely go check out that show if you haven't been. It's sparking a little electricity in our hobby that is fun to watch. So
yeah, it's great. As I said, I wouldn't have wrote about it if I didn't believe in it. It's good stuff.
Yeah, fun stuff, man. Fun stuff.
So other than that, we will see you guys next time.
All right. Check us out, comicbookinvest.com.